Welcome to Fresh Start. Today's show is about a Caesar salad that has no chicken in it. So no chicken in the Caesar salad, but it's going to taste like chicken, be very filling, full of fiber, protein, and give you tons of energy. We're also going to do a spaghetti sandwich. Sounds kind of different, but very good. So it is so hot outside, and how many of you are out there after you've eaten a meal and you actually feel sick? You have no energy, you're very tired. So today's recipes that I'm going to show you will help keep your energy levels up and give you all the nutrients, fiber, protein that you need to carry out your day. So we're going to start off with the almighty fiber-filled and protein-filled chickpeas. So this is about 2 cans of chickpeas. You do not have to use this much, but I like to start off with about 2 cans or 3.5 cups. You're going to have high heat. It's going to be about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And if you don't want to use olive oil, if you're watching your fat, you can use just water. I'm going to go ahead and pour these in. And so the trick to this is getting it to taste like chicken. And trust me, my family couldn't believe it. It does look like chickpeas, but they will give the whole salad a real good chicken flavor. So while you're getting your chickpeas heated, what you're going to do, and what I've done already to save a little bit of time, is I bought about 1/4 pound of cashews, or you can use walnuts, either one, whichever one is your favorite. And I went ahead and crushed these up to a fine size there, if you can see. And I've also added nutritional yeast, and this is going to give it the cheese flavor that you're looking for, the Parmesan taste. So this right here, of course I'm out right here, but you can also get this at Juicy's Wellness Cafe downtown on Main Street. So we do carry this, and this is full of vitamin B12. It's got your B6. So if you're plant-based, or if you're on a plant-based diet, this right here will give you your B12 that you need, and that you hear a lot about when people do not eat animal protein. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stir these up. Okay, those are still heating really good. So I've also got romaine lettuce. And you're going to wash your lettuce. And this is a whole head of romaine lettuce. So I cut the ends off. And I'm going to go ahead and chop this up. And you've heard me say before that if you get iceberg lettuce, there's absolutely no nutrients in that. It's just like eating water. It just has water. So romaine, you still are getting some micronutrients there. There's other lettuces that are super duper good, super greens. If you want to do spinach, just whatever you prefer as far as your salad. But with this being a Caesar salad, I'm trying to get it as close to a Caesar salad as possible without chicken. Okay, it's starting to smell good. All right, so that's cooking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some spices to this, and this is rosemary, my all-time favorite spice. Rosemary is so good for so many different things. It's a mood stabilizer, so it's actually been used to treat depression and anxiety. I'm going to add just a little bit of Celtic sea salt. And I like a little bit of spice. So this is cayenne pepper. I'm just going to use just a little bit. And a little bit of basil. Smelling good in here. All right, and if you want, you can chop up an onion, or chop it up real fine and throw it in with this if you would like. It's smelling so good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my lettuce in here. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because we still have our sauce to make, or our dressing, and the dressing will also be plant-based. but you will not know. So when you're out after you've eaten this meal or this salad, you will not experience the fatigue that we can experience from eating salads loaded with dressing. So this dressing is extremely healthy and good for you. Put that there. All right. This down. So I've got Vegenaise, which is a plant-based mayonnaise, and I've already sprinkled onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. So it's about a half a teaspoon of each, about a cup of Vegenaise, and then this is the Vegenaise. And you can get that here locally in McMinnville at some of the grocery stores. If you can't find the Vegenaise, they also have Just Mayo, and that's the name of it, Just Mayo. All right. Let's stir this a little bit. It's smelling so good. Okay, so we're going to get our sauce ready. All right, this is a little bit of Dijon mustard. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons, and a little bit of amino acids, which is basically soy sauce, but I'm just going to add a teeny bit, like half a teaspoon, just barely. Excuse me. All right, and then the juice of a lemon. I like a lot of lemon, so I may use 2, but today the recipe actually just calls for 1. Just according to how spicy you like it, because the lemon will give it a little bit more kick. And I also put about 1/4 of a teaspoon of maple syrup, pure maple syrup, not pancake syrup. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of garlic. I had gotten out about half a teaspoon of minced garlic that I'm going to add to my chickpeas. So good. And we'll crank it back up a little bit. Also have some scallions. I'm going to go ahead and drop those in too. I feel like I may sneeze just a little bit. I got some cayenne pepper up around my nose. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stir this. Excuse me. So we're just going to stir that really good. I want to taste it. Excuse me. All right. So I'm going to pour a little bit of maple syrup in. Just a tiny bit. It's already tasting really good. Okay, I'm going to put also about a teaspoon of basil in here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my greens. And you're going to pour this mixture over your greens. So this is great just for lunch or for dinner, just whichever you prefer. I like it just by itself or even with a sandwich. So I'm just going to massage this in. So that's why I have gloves on, just to get that massaged, and hopefully it won't be everywhere. And again, you can add more onion powder or garlic powder if it's not got the taste that you like, or even some more of the Dijon mustard. And you don't have to really put hardly any of the soy sauce in there. You don't even have to use it if you don't want to. So it's just totally up to you. It can get kind of messy. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add to this is the chopped up cashews. So that's about 1/4 of a cup, or about 1/2 a cup. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that over that mixture. I love cashews, but to me, this is a little bit better with walnuts just because it does give it a nuttier taste. But a lot of people that I have made this for, they prefer the cashew just because they said it tastes more like cheese. I think because it's lighter and it looks like the Parmesan. And you can add fresh tomato to this, whatever you like with your Caesar salad. All right, crank this up a little bit more. Get our plate ready. So I'm going to go ahead and put the mixture that we just mixed on the plate. And while we're waiting on the chickpeas, and you want your chickpeas to be toasted. You don't want to just get them warm. You want to make sure that they're good and toasted. And I've done it before without actually putting, you can either put them in the oven or you can do stovetop. It's easier stovetop, it's a little bit quicker. But if you do decide to do it in your oven, you just line a baking sheet with some aluminum foil and just spread out your rinsed and drained chickpeas just evenly on that aluminum foil, and just put them in the oven at 425 for about 20 to 30 minutes, and just kind of check on them periodically to make sure they're not burnt. You just want them real toasty. All right. I'm going to add a few pieces of avocado to this. I'm going to start sneezing again. Excuse me. That's what's making me sneeze, is I'm standing over that and it's going up in my face. It smells good. It's making me sneeze or cough. All right. So again, this can be served with any meal. I love it with spaghetti or spaghetti sandwiches. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some more cashews. And a few more fresh scallions. And there you go. And there's your vegan Caesar salad. All right, for our spaghetti sandwich, I'm gonna turn this down. I've already pre-cooked some spaghetti. I'm gonna get this going first. Get this off of here. Go ahead and pour this in our mixture. There we go. Much better. All right. Too many towels. All right, I'm gonna put the Caesar salad there. Mark this down. So you can use any spaghetti, preferably whole wheat. Whole wheat is so much better than the white, what I used to eat as a child. It's actually been bleached of all of its color and nutrients, so highly recommend the whole wheat. It tastes better, has more flavor. So if you haven't tried it before, I highly recommend you trying it. So I probably cooked about half a box. Excuse me. The spices are still getting to me. All right. So I've just bought 2 whole wheat buns here. And I'm going to open those up. And over here on the side, I have just my favorite spaghetti sauce. It can be homemade, which you just puree some tomatoes, onion, and garlic of your choice. And then add a little sea salt and basil. I'm going to go ahead and heat this up. And so tomatoes are used for so many different things. If you know anyone that has like prostate cancer or anything's wrong with the prostate, tomatoes are awesome for something like that. It actually helps your body fight the cancer, especially the prostate or any reproductive cancers. So I'm just going to chop this tomato up a little bit, and this is basically used for garnishing, plus eating. But I love to garnish with any type of tomato or anything that's red or green, bright in color. Just going to cut a few pieces here to the side. And I've also got fresh basil here. So the basil with this sandwich is so good. And do not cook the basil, just eat it fresh once we get the spaghetti on there. I'm getting kind of messy here. All right, I'm gonna grab the spaghetti. And so a lot of people, I know when I first started learning how to really cook, my spaghetti would always be really sticky. So when you first start cooking spaghetti, to get that perfect texture where it's not all stuck together, let the water boil first, and then you put your spaghetti in with just a tiny bit of olive oil. Let it boil for 7 minutes on high. Once that 7 minutes has ended, you will drain your spaghetti, put it back in the pan that you just cooked it in, cover it with a lid or plate, that's what I use, and let it set for about 10 minutes, and it will fully cook the spaghetti. It's not sticky, and it's just perfect texture. All right. And also with this, you're not getting, I love garlic toast with Earth Balance butter. So you're actually saving calories by eating it as a sandwich. It's probably kind of weird sounding right now because not many people eat spaghetti sandwiches. So this will be a treat. I promise it's so, so good. All right, so there's our spaghetti. And our sauce is good and hot. I'm gonna add some scallions to this sauce. And again, the sauce is just 2 tomatoes pureed, half an onion, and just a teaspoon of minced garlic, a little sea salt, and that's it. And if you don't want to do that, just use your favorite marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce. All right. I'm going to drip this over the spaghetti. It smells so good. And with this also, you can use the crushed cashews that we just did to top the spaghetti sandwiches, so it looks like Parmesan cheese. It's kind of falling apart, but still looks yummy. All right, and then I'm going to place a few tomatoes on there. Looks so pretty. All right, and the fresh basil is going to go right on top of that. And fresh basil is so good for so many things. So it's good to help cleanse the body. It's actually also another mood enhancer. So if you're having problems with depression or anxiety, basil's actually good for that. It's very healing if you have a bad cold even. So just to nibble on fresh basil. All right, and I'm going to sprinkle some good old ground up cashews on this. Okay, there you go. So there is your plant-based fake chicken Caesar salad, and then your spaghetti sandwiches. And this is something, a meal that you could eat. You're not going to feel tired and lethargic and no energy whatsoever once you eat this meal. It's actually going to give you energy, give you tons of protein, tons of fiber, plus you're getting micronutrients from all the greens. Add a fresh some fresh fruit to it to give you extra nutrients. Again, your body's very seasonal, so when the weather is very warm, your body does not want something very heavy to eat, like burgers and fries. So I've been there, and when I've eaten that type of food, I did not feel good when I went out. If you exercise a lot, highly recommend you eat something light in this heat because it's very hot this summer. And this is something that would give you the energy. Of course, run an hour later, you're not going to be sleepy. I don't know how to stress it, just because when you eat heavy foods, even at events like ball games, we tend to eat hot dogs, and they actually heat the body up, which causes heat strokes, all types of problems with just being tired, stroke. So try this and see what you think. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I did. I am fixing to chow into this, and I'm not sharing. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you next time on Fresh Start.